That was just the big P bass pickup. And then I switched on, I added in these two pickups. So you get the full picture. The bass is feeling really good this morning. Yes, that's a reverse delay just a Boss DD6 reverse delay. Really fun. Well, hey everybody, welcome. Oh my god, this is number 9 of the live stream, and it's like 9 weeks already. It's so crazy. I know I'm going to be saying this at like 20 weeks or whatever, or live stream number 20. But whoever's on here, hello, nice to see you. Welcome. This is the Bass Nerd Hour, or hour and a bit, or however long it goes for. And so thank you for joining me. If you have any questions or anything, please pop it down in the chat. I'm going to play a little more because the bass is feeling really good right now. Probably just a combination of that and my coffee kind of kicking in. So I have another sip. Nice. Hey, Mr. Nick Granville. Oh no, is he gonna troll me again? How you doing, bro? Nice to see you. Let's see if I remember this tune. This is a tune that I used to jam on my looper back in my college days. Let's see if let's have a go with it. It's a Michel Indeggio cello tune, actually. Let's have a go. Thank you. I just juiced up the vocal mic, so that should be a little better. Thanks, Nick. And since I'm at it, the pickups on the outside of the Precision, it's the Sonic Arch Cap pickups. Essentially, they're like jazz bass pickups. They're in the 60s jazz bass spacing, so it definitely gives that 60s jazz bass sound, which is really cool. If anyone knows this song, let me know down in the comments. A little bit of a nice Michelle Indeggio-cello jam. Man, she's definitely one of my absolute favorite bassists. I mean, talk about like just absolute, just funky. Woof. Like in the like, it's just so just ridiculous how amazing she is. You know, just ridiculous. And quite a virtuoso as well. Like I've heard her play some Jago stuff as well, and I mean it's incredible. You know, and she's really just made a whole like style of her own, which is really cool, with like a nice mix of like real old school funky and a bit of like jazz fusion. I remember reading an interview of her. She's quite a fan of Alain Caron, the great French-Canadian bassist. I remember she said that she loves how, and this was a time, like, I guess there was when this interview happened, the word fusion was, I guess, like a just a overused kind of dirty word almost, and she loves how Alain Caron really was all about like, no, I'm playing fusion, I love it, and it's really cool. She's just one of the greatest. I remember when I was playing for Mike Stern, and I was learning. I got sent the tunes to learn, and there was a tune called KT of Mike's, and Michelle is playing bass on it, and just playing this real like just dirty like. Let me turn this off. What was it? I mean, like, just you got to check out. If you check out Mike Stern's tune called KT, Michelle is just playing some real, just beautiful, like funky, like greasy kind of stuff. So, thank you, Michelle. Just incredible bassist. I just love her playing, love her music. It just incredible. And whoever's on here, hello, nice to see you. Again, live stream number 9, and I'm just kind of doing some playing here, just having fun, kind of warming up a bit, and letting my coffee kind of just kick in as well. So who we got? We have we got Ox Bass, or AKS Bass. How you doing, man? Great to see you. Mario. Henril is there. We've got Jay Figueroa. Figueroa, yeah, Jay Figueroa Bass. How you doing? Nice to see you on here. If you got questions or anything about bass playing, bass concepts, you want me to show you something, you know, please put it down in the chat. This is what. But we're all here about bass, which is really cool. And what was AKS Bass saying here? Tried using the vibrato and neck pickup on my playing like you're doing. It completely transforms my chord. Absolutely, I'll tell you. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you have so many different tones, and they just to really. That's the cool thing about pickup settings and configurations, is that you get to decide like how you want certain things to sound, which is so cool, especially when it comes to chords. So if I was to just start on the bridge pickup, obviously you're going to get a nice, you know, a lot of the harmonics in there. It's picking up a lot of the harmonic content when you play the bridge pickup. Definitely pokes through. It's not so bottom heavy as well. nice. If you do both pickups, it's really nice and full. But you get the best of both worlds. It's beautiful. And then yeah, neck pickup is really nice and warm. It's really nice. So I kind of go, depending on what I'm trying to, what context I'm playing in, that's going to dictate how my chords are going to sound. And if I want to go for definitely a more thinner, kind of janglier sound, I'll definitely go on the bridge pickup, and I might put something on like my vibrato pedal, which is a TC electronic shaker pedal. I can still do that with the front pickup if I want to, just to get that front pickup sound. So that's the thing, is that the pickups can be used in whatever configuration and for just about anything, but definitely for chords, it'll just definitely go. It would just take it into different dimensions. It's also really cool, like when I'm recording and if I'm doing like some of my original music, sometimes I might do 2 tracks of chords, and in order to differentiate the 2 different kind of sounds, I'll do one track. And I can even demonstrate here. I'll do one track with like the neck pickup. So say something like, let's see. Right, so I got that one on the front pickup. Now I might do the bridge pickup, and I might play something higher up on the neck. So let's see. Oh wait, no, it's an A minor, my bad. That way I kind of get a nice full sound, nothing clashes, right? Or even if I was to play in the same register as the first track, I can still do that with the bridge pickup, right? And so I can get this nice like cacophony of like chordal like fullness. And especially if you're recording, you can kind of pan them to like different sides to really give a nice full stereo effect. I did this on a tune with the Peter Erskine and the Dr. band on the last record that we did on Call, and there's a tune called Two Paths. And I did 2 chordal tracks on there. in this similar kind of concept. So that's always cool. What wah pedal do you use? I don't actually have a wah pedal, but I use the envelope pedals, the envelope filters. So I have a MXR, and I also have a EBS, Bass-ICS. So two different sounds, the two different kind of things. That's what I use them for. And then yes, when I'm playing, when I'm playing chords that are essentially bar chords, yes, I'm going to be using my index finger. And this is the thing, like the index finger is very useful, and if you want to practice kind of just getting it up to strength, I recommend just on one fret, just doing that, just practicing getting all the notes to ring out. All right, think of it as, you know, your anchor. And the other thing too is that when I'm playing, I'm not using the middle over here of the finger. I'm actually using more of the side. So if you have a look, my finger is kind of, or my hand is kind of pivoted a little bit. So it's not completely flat, because it's actually harder to play when it's flat. You have to kind of use the side, a little more of the side, so off center of your index finger. And as you go lower down over here, you're definitely going to use more of the side, and also your finger is going to kind of curve a little more too. And as you get more over here, so this is probably this is probably the most that I would probably play for barring. And then as I get higher, I'm going to be doing this, literally playing every finger for playing up high. So and then so once you've got that established, then you can start adding in like another finger. So in this case, maybe I want to add in a fifth. And then experiment with like, okay, so I've got a fifth. Now also try like with a flat five, perfect fifth, sharp five. Right? Once you've got that established, then use your pinky to play. So right here I'm playing the 11. And also try this, where I move up to a sharp 5, or in this case, more of a flat 6. And my pinky is going to play. It's going to play the fifth up on the top voice. And that's a really nice. So essentially, what I'm playing here, this shape. This chord shape is, I like to look at it as more of like a slash chord, instead of trying to really spell out what it is exactly. And the reason why I would say it more of a slash chord, because I use this instrument for composing and for writing, when I have like keyboard players or guitar players play my music, I want them to play these voicings. I want it to sound like that, right? And so what I'm playing here on the higher strings, it's an E major 7, but with an added 9 or a 2, really, a second. And with the G sharp in the bass. Right? So that's what I would want. So that I would write maybe I've had success just writing E major 7 add 9 with a G sharp in the bass, and that's pretty much the kind of sound that I'm going for. So but you can see I'm still barring everything. And when you're playing even like more like 5-note kind of chords, something like that, I'm using like the bottom of my index finger as well to still to definitely get the sound. Let's see. What am I doing? So essentially, I'm using the bottom of my finger to also get certain notes. So barring with your index finger, that's a really important thing to do. Something that just take your time getting the strength and the stability up to speed with that. So yeah. Jay Figueroa is saying, when you're playing over a major chord or even a simpler major progression, are you thinking of geometric shapes to get through those changes, or are you thinking of each chord individually? Yeah, no, it's a good question. So are you talking about like if I'm soloing? So say if I'm playing, let's play F major 7 to D major 7. Right? F major 7 to D major 7. Little, kind of not very diatonic, essentially. But how I approach it is, and this is what I tell my students, is that you want to understand, obviously, the key notes or chord tones that are in each chord, right? And your Tron song, right? And I mean, that Tron song is all major 7 chords as well. And so in this case, I'm going to be referring to the Lydian mode, right? So sharp 4. So if we were to find like our Lydian notes of these chords, this is what I'd be. So F major 7, going to be a B natural, right? D major 7, I've got that G sharp, right? So a really cool thing to try when you're just practicing soloing over major chords, major 7 chords, is start on the sharp 11, the sharp 4, the Lydian, right? Instead of just always referring to just the root notes, try to really get into the chord and the color tones, right? try, just simple themes, right? Just simple kind of themes, and I just try to develop that, right? I'm not just trying to always kind of just shred over it all. That could come a little later, and that's something that you can add into the story that you're trying to tell when you're soloing. You get the idea. But that's how I would, approach a major 7, and also thinking about the triads that are in a major 7. At the end of the day, obviously when you're soloing, you don't want to just be thinking, right? You want to be hearing the notes. And this just comes from like practicing and just listening to the chord qualities of any chord. But in this case, if we're talking about major 7, understanding, okay, the sounds that go into the chord. And you want to be able to do that for any key. So obviously I played F major 7. What if I played it for, let's say A flat major 7? And just remember, I'm sorry if you could hear the ding of people texting me. The thing is that at the end of the day, like with all that I'm saying right here, of like using these notes and that note and this kind of interval, it's all about feeling, emotion, and that's where it starts. That's really where you want to like have your starting point, is the feeling, is how you are feeling. Because this is obviously when you're soloing, you're expressing, all right? You are painting a picture, you're telling a story, all right? And you always want to have some sort of influence that is emotional and that is inside of you. That's what that is. Like today I'm kind of playing my phrasing or whatever is the way that it is because just the way that I woke up today or the way I'm feeling right now. But it might be different another day, and I always want to tap into that. And that's something that you always want to do, is like always just listen to yourself. It's feeling, all right? Don't always think that you have to just always be trying to impress and show off technique and how fast you can play or how many complicated notes or phrases that you can do. There's something special about the power of just using a few notes that can tell so much about when you're playing. It's how you use those notes, and if you channel your feelings and emotions into it, it really speaks through nicely. My my bass teacher back at Cal Arts, or one of my bass teachers, Charlie Hayden, he and I've spoken about him. He's someone in his solos who is very, very minimalist. You know, he's not someone that you're gonna see doing the stuff that like Stanley Clarke does or like Eddie Gomez, that kind of technique and all that. And it's because, and he didn't have to. That's the thing. He didn't have to shred on the bass. He could just take you down some sort of like beautiful like avenue with just a few notes, because it was just deep. You could feel where he was coming from, his honesty, his just what it was. And that's what I love. That's what I always love about just music and listening to players who really channel their feelings. So at the end of the day, yes, major 7 chords and all that. Yeah, that's what you do. But for anything that you solo over or what you play, bass lines or anything, writing music, feeling. All right, don't forget feeling. Okay. Who else has got some things here? Somebody is saying you have to redo your setup. What did I miss? AKS basses, I've always been going flat and then the C string doesn't resonate properly. Yeah, you might want to just check your intonation on the strings. Just make sure, yeah, especially for playing chords. Yeah. What was Henry saying? You have to redo your setup. I play a whole step down, and everything was loose. You have to bend the truss rod fretboard side to add tension. Yeah, you just gotta. This is the thing. You gotta kind of get it to the point, and even try different types of strings, tensions, and all that to really just get the bass to where it really wants to play, where it is. So yeah. If you're just joining on here, hello. And if you got any questions or anything, just throw them down in the chat. It's really cool, kind of just going in, just discussing things. And thank you, Mario. I appreciate that. And no, I'm not using flats. These are what are they? I'm using DR high beams. All right, these right now these are probably my favorite string. These are stainless steels. These are 30 to 130. So I use a slightly heavier gauge on the B string just because I have a drop A. And so I don't want it to be too loose when I do that. Typically I use a 125. But the DR strings are really great. I've been really enjoying them. They are a lot of fun. Yeah. Let's see. The thing, okay, so this is something I actually wanted to, I thought that I wanted to share with you all, that I thought was kind of funny and also just amazing. So obviously on YouTube, there's a lot of the old bass instructional videos that we had from the 80s and 90s, from like DCI and Starlix and all that. And they're amazing. And so I've been actually watching a couple of them, and the thing that really I think is just absolutely hilarious, and I just love it, is that like at the beginning of all of them, they're like, all right, so now we're gonna tune up. So here is E. So you gotta tune to their bass. Now A. And then of course there's like, now for those of you who have a 5-string, low B, 6-string, it's hilarious. I'm just like, oh man, it's like brings back so much nostalgia. The thing that I noticed with a lot of these, and in particular, I was looking at one of Brian Bromberg from like the late 80s. He's got a big mullet and all that. It's amazing. There was one of Jeff Berlin, and I saw an old Bill Dickens one, like even before he was playing a 7-string bass. He's playing a Ken Smith. But what I noticed with a lot of these bass players, like especially back then, they're not using bass. Yeah, the Jeff Berlin one it's pretty out, isn't it? But the bass players, these cats are not using like specific bass guitar rigs. They're using like pro audio rigs, which I think is pretty interesting. And I think, a lot of it has to do with the type of just sounds that they were experimenting with and trying to go for, that typical bass rigs at the time were not able to reproduce. And especially since 5 strings and 6 strings were becoming more popular and all that, in order to reproduce that low B string properly, I think they had to use like pro audio stuff. And then they're also messing around with stereo setups. I know Jeff Berlin for sure using stereo chorus and reverbs and all that. Brian Bromberg is using like MIDI and all that. He's got his piccolo bass and using multiple outputs for stereo. It's crazy. It's really interesting. You should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. It's really interesting to see. And they got these racks of like parametric equalizers and like power amps and preamps and compressors and microwaves and easy bake ovens. Like it's insane. And now you see the rigs that these cats use now. I mean, obviously Jeff Berlin has his like little kind of combo amp with the 15-inch speaker by Mark Bass, and Brian, I think he just uses just one cabinet and a head, and that's it. But compared to what they were using back then, it's they're like eventually just pared it down. I don't need all that stuff. and they probably, and from what I understand, a lot of them say that it sounds much better, the stuff that is out there now. So I was gonna switch over the bass because we're coming to the time of where we're almost done. But as always, I always like to do a bit of gig archive and just play something that's from the gigs in the past and see if I can still play it. But I'm going to change my bass. I'm going to pull out my groove line. So let's see. Or yeah, I'll pull out the groove line now because I actually do want to play something on upright as well. I've got to include the upright in here. So let's pull out the groove line. All right, here she is, my beloved groove line, Blondie. Woo. Yeah, this bass. It's just, oh man, this bass is just, I just love this bass. It's my main bass. And it just has such a just warm, like punchy sound to it. So I'm gonna play a tune here by a great vocalist that I got to work with a couple of times. She's based in New York. Her name is Sarah Elizabeth Charles. And I played with her about 10 years ago now. Wow, what's that sound? Something outside. She had, I think, I can't remember who she got my number from, but she was coming out to LA. She was bringing her piano player, and she had just released a record, and so she was doing some shows over there, and she asked me to play with her in San Diego. I said, yeah, absolutely. She sent me the music. I was just absolutely blown away. I mean, first of all, her singing and her just vocal abilities are just just beautiful, and just I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm in. But also just the music, like the bass lines, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a lot of fun here, because the bass player who recorded on her records is a guy named Bernice Earl Travis, who some of you might know. He plays with Robert Glasper. I know he played with Yeba, but he's incredible bassist, and I remember meeting him years ago. Really nice guy. But yeah, I was like very excited to play this music. Real funny story. So I show up to the gig. It was down in San Diego, and the address brought me to a jet ski rental place. I'm like, am I at the right place? So I'm like looking up the place. Then the drummer showed up, and even he's like, oh, what? And so we walk up into the place, and we see a dude there moving all the jet skis out of the way, and then he's bringing out like a PA system and some lights and like a little kind of curtain thing, and we're like, oh, okay, this is where we're playing. And it was just oh man, it was great fun. It really was. But anyway, I'm gonna play this here. This is a really cool tune of hers. This is called Bells. So let's have a go with Bells. And this is by Sarah Elizabeth Charles. Check out her record. It's her music. She's phenomenal singer, and really great music. So this is Bells. Here we go. And I know I have the audio routed properly, so you should hear the backing track, but please let me know if you don't hear the backing track. Not doing that again. All right, here we go. god, that's a lot of fun. Really, I remember the vibe was just like, you know, it has this pulse, but has a nice kind of looseness to it as well, which is really cool to be able to, you know, just kind of like stretch over the bar as well. But you still know where you are in the form in terms of the where the pulse is. That's the thing. Yeah, just a lot of fun to play. It really is. No, they don't have these basses anymore. They don't make these basses, the groove lines, unfortunately, for now. But that might change. I don't know. I can't promise you anything. I really cannot. Trust me. All right. Is he the guy with the Federa 6? No, I don't think Burness plays a Federa. I think he plays a Swan bass, the Swan 6-string bass. But he's incredible. I just love his playing. Just woof, beautiful. Great upright player as well. Speaking of upright, I'm gonna play some upright, okay? Because upright is a very important instrument to me. I work a lot playing upright bass, and it's a bass, right? It's the bass. And so, yeah, I'm going to play a little upright here. I'll switch over. Not all of my basses have high beams, all right? So this bass actually right here is using the Dragon Skin Plus strings, so the coated strings by DR. And in some of my other basses, like my fretless and these vintage ones, they're using the fat beams. All right, so they have a little more kind of a little higher tension, a little punch on that, and that's what I want, you know, from those basses. This P bass in particular uses the flat wounds, the Legends, the DR Legends. So I'm just going to quickly switch to upright bass for a second. You guys are so awesome. I really just love just being on here with you all and just talking bass, nerding out. It gives me so much joy, and I hope you really enjoy this as well. All right. Hello, Bertha. So let me bring up the level a little. I got to share the microphone with Bertha here. Where's it facing? Okay, it's facing there. Let's bring it down a bit. So I'll speak up a little. These are definitely not DR strings on the upright bass. Any of you upright bass players? Pop it down there. I'd like to know if you also play upright or want to play upright. Definitely, if you can play upright and electric very well, you definitely get a lot of work. That's for sure. But the strings I'm using here, so these two, the G and the D, Pirastro Evaporazis, and what do I have? Let's have a sip. I'm talking so much, my throat's getting dry. The E and the A Diodario Helicore hybrids. And that's the cool thing about upright bass is that you can put different combinations of strings. get you. It just depends on how you want each string to feel, the different tension. Some people like the G to feel a little more loose. They want to have a different kind of tone for it, so they might use a gut string. But on here, and I might try out some gut strings at some point, but this is something that has been working for a long time for me. And let me just get the right microphone position as well. That's the thing, is that so when I play live, I will use a pickup, but very minimally. I'll only use it for my own monitoring, and it's very low. But typically I'll use a microphone, and the microphone is the only thing that will go into the house. But there are also some gigs that I play where I won't use the pickup at all, and I'll just play just straight acoustic, because if it's in a smaller place, or it doesn't have to be loud. If I'm playing with like a acoustic trio, like piano and drums, or guitar and drums, or no drums at all, I could just play straight acoustic. That's the thing, is that I like to kind of just keep amplification minimal, because this is the thing, when you use a pickup, and it doesn't matter what pickup you have on an upright bass, you plug it into the amp, it's not going to sound like your upright bass, alright? It's going to sound like a little more electric, it's going to sound almost like a fretless bass, and that's not what I'm going for on an upright bass. I want it to sound like this. We spend so much time getting the acoustic sound, like really like developing our sound, and the moment that you plug it in, then that just goes out the window. Now there are some instances or some situations where you might just have to use just the pickup, because just a loud situation, and then that's something that you just have to accept, and at the end of the day you're still playing music. But generally I like to use a microphone. And so this is a good question, Mario. So do you have any deal with feedback? I mean, sure, yeah, always. But this is the thing that upright bass players have been doing, and specifically cats who like to just use the microphone. Oh, it's Steve Weingard. What's up, man? And so this is the thing, is that and I saw Larry Grenadier, great bassist, Larry Grenadier, and also Eric Rivas do this, where they don't use pickups. They have the microphones over here, and they have really nice microphones that they use, like they're their own, that they travel with. And they have the monitor wedge, like, behind them, usually propped up on something, like around here. It might even be like on a stand, like behind here, at like ear level. And that way, wherever, because the microphone will be here, you're in between the direct line of the monitor and the microphone. So that way you can actually, there won't be any feedback, and you get to hear the natural sound of the bass. And also because, yes, there's going to be a bit of bleed from piano or drums that you actually don't need to have a monitor other than just what you're using for your bass, because you can hear a little bit. And I've done that many times. I used to do that at the Blue Whale in Los Angeles all the time, every time I'd play upright bass. And it was just beautiful, just perfect. Like, it was my ideal upright bass sound. And yes, Ron Carter, he'll do that with his amp. He'll have it on the stand up here, but he'll only have the pickup going through there. You know, that's his sound and all that. And he'll still have a microphone that goes out to the house and the mains. The thing about using the engineer needs to really know how to mix an upright bass with a microphone in the mains, right? A lot of you'll come across a lot of engineers, they're just used to taking the DI signal, and because it's the easiest thing for them. But for the musician that has to play, it's like we can't, if we can't get our sound, it's just like a vocalist, right? If the vocalist can't get their sound, it's hard to really, you know, express it at your full potential. So yeah, I think that sounds good. I'm gonna play one more tune here by another brilliant jazz vocalist, but out of the UK, named Zara McFarlane, and I got to work with her a while ago when she came through LA. And that was the cool thing being in LA, you know, like just like with Sarah Charles, like there would be people from New York and Europe and all that who would come through, and you know, they wouldn't necessarily bring their bands, you know, whatever, you know, budget would allow. So they would usually pick up, if they came through LA, to pick up a band in LA. And so I got to do a lot of that, play with a lot of these great artists. And so Sarah was one of them, and Zara is another one. Incredible vocalist, like I said, out of the UK. And when we toured, we had a really nice band as well. It was myself, it was Lincoln Cleary on piano, Gene Coy on drums. For some of the dates, we had Kamasi Washington on saxophone, and some of the other dates, it was Gavin Templeton playing saxophone. Just a really fun band. It was just all acoustic that I played. It was kind of like a mix of Coltrane Quartet with Alice Coltrane and Nina Simone and like Abby Lincoln, that kind of vibe. So anyway, this was my favorite tune from her set list. This really nice kind of vibey thing here, called Her Eyes. So enjoy, and thank you everybody. This has been such a pleasure to just kind of be here and play for you all and talk to you guys. So here's Her Eyes by Zara McFarlane. All right, let's go.
They watch you patiently and quietly. They glance around the room unknowing. If you would only take the time, what it is you find is the strength behind them. Although they gaze into the distance, although they put up much resistance, you can look straight into her eyes. Please don't be surprised by the strength behind them. Some say that it's just a twinkle glistening in the light. I know that these precious jewels reveal all the depths of the heart. The mask up front may not reveal it. The smile alone almost conceals it.
I thought I'd just take a little bit of liberties at the end there. Oh man, it's such a beautiful tune, and she's just a wonderful singer. We had just absolutely wonderful shows when we played, and so yeah, and it just adds to the whole playing experience of getting to play with people like that, and so she's definitely a highlight of my career. So I think that's it for this week. This has been a lot of fun. This is probably the longest one that I've done here. Hour and a half, really stretching into it. But you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for jumping on here. Thank you for the questions and just the wonderful comments and all that. And again, anything that I can do to help you with your bass playing, always feel free to reach out to me. You can do that through my website, basswithbenjamin.com, or you can hit me up on social media as well. But if there's anything that you need help with your bass playing that you might be stuck on or anything, let's chat about it. I'd love to help you out. That's what I'm here to do. That's what Bass with Benjamin is all about, is to help bass players and musicians. All right, that's what I love to do. I have courses on Bass with Benjamin, especially all the chordal stuff that I do. I have the bass chords course. You can get all that on there. I'm starting to work on a new course as well, which I'm really excited about. So again, bass resources and all that, you can get all that at Bass with Benjamin. But if you haven't, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. This helps get my videos into various people's algorithm feeds and all that. So, but again, you guys are awesome. This has been just an absolute pleasure. And we'll do it again next week. And we'll see what happens then. See what tunes I pull out, or just whatever happens. But again, thank you all. Be safe out there, all right, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, have a great rest of the weekend. And I'll see you all next time. All right. Thank you, everybody. You guys are awesome. Oh, put it down here. All right, peace, everybody. See you next time.